Hello there, Maverick traders. This is Rob Reinhold. This is the market roundup for April 4th, and we had a wild, big intraday reversal to the downside today, so let's jump into it. In this session, we're going to talk about what happened today. We'll talk about some of the reasons why. Here's the thing. The market doesn't need a reason why. We just have to understand that it did it. Did anything actually change? In bull markets, you have pullbacks. The question is, did it change the bull market story? We will take a look at that. And then, of course, I've only got one setup today. I think this is a poor time to even talk about setups because it was a big day. So let's just jump right into it.
This video was created for professional stock and option traders. Maverick Trading is a proprietary trading firm that employs professional traders around the world. Our traders trade firm capital and keep 70 to 80% of profits they generate. All trades and analysis in this video are for professional traders only. If you are interested in becoming a professional trader for Maverick, click the Apply button in the video description. Let's break down what happened today.
All right, so we had a big intraday reversal. So that's all I'm going to talk about. That's it. Now look, the way that the news cycle works, the news cycle always tries to figure out why something happened. It's kind of like the tail wagging the dog. Something big happened and then they all scramble, be like, why did this happen? You know, pullbacks just happen. And sometimes there's just some things that happen in the market where a bunch of people at once start to sell and it just was coincidence and we had a big down day. The one thing I think you can point to was Governor Kashkari, one of the Fed governors, says there might be no rate cuts this year if inflation stays sticky. Now look, this market has been a very, very bullish market through the whole thing, and we have not had a substantial pullback in months and months and months. It was due for it. So the big question here is, did anything change? The Dow was down 1.3%. The S&P was down 1.23%. We see the Q's down 1.4%. Everything was up about 1% at one point today, and then it fell apart. Another thing that I read is oil. The spike in oil caused it. No, it didn't. It was just due. We were just due for a sell-off. The advanced decline line, okay, 2 out of 3 stocks went down today. We've got pretty much 50-50 on the 50-day moving average. The big question is, did anything actually change? This is a nasty candle. Look, I get it. I'm not trying to downplay it. Very, very focused on what could potentially happen afterwards. But let's keep this in context. This is a nasty candle. And we close at our low, and there's no question that we are very highly likely to trade down to our 50-day moving average. And in fact, if you take a look at the NASDAQ, we are already at the 50-day moving average. So for my case, I think the NASDAQ goes below its 50-day moving average. The 50-day moving average at Maverick is kind of the line in the sand, a bullish versus bearish. We use that all the time. Is the market above it or below it? We talk about how a lot of times when it has been bullish, it will come down and pierce the 50-day moving average for a day or two. And if it can recover and go back up, then that was a great buying opportunity. I'm not ready to say which one it's going to be. All I am going to say is, in bull markets, whenever this has happened, it's been a better buy than a sell. Now again, I say that in bull markets. The question is the bull market move done? What are some of the things we typically see in a bull market reversal where that is the top? We typically see crazy overvaluation. We typically see crazy optimism. We're not really there. Look, it's definitely elevated. No question about it. In a bull market, it's very, very natural that during a bull market you get pullbacks. Pullbacks are anywhere from 3 to 7%. And that happens. I'm going to bring up a longer term chart and you can see how often that happens. But you would expect this kind of a pullback to happen every 2 to 3 months. And then you get corrections. Corrections are 10% or greater. Sorry, that's a terrible writing, 10%, but you guys get it. 10% or greater. And we can still get a resumption of the bull market in there. We see these. Let's take a look at some longer term charts just so we can get some perspective. Here's the S&P, and if we go back to, and I'm just going to take some little moments here. Here was a moment. Here was a moment where we got up to 4,800 and got all the way down to 4,700. So this is about a 2.5% pullback. Okay, it only went to the 20. Let's go back even further to our last bull market run. Here is one that looks very, very painful. If you were long here, 44.50 all the way down to 43.20, that is about, it's only about another 2.5-3% pullback. These happen. The big question is this the end of a bull market? And you can see, what do we get when we see the end of bull markets? Well, we talk about seasonality. Seasonality definitely comes into play, where September through October are genuinely bearish. We saw that seasonality. The question is there anything in this chart right here, right now, that leads you to believe that this is the end of a bull market other than your opinion, just the chart? And for me, it is no. It's no. If we go below the 50 and hold below the 50, then the answer will be yes. Until that happens, this is probably just a bigger pullback than we've seen over the last couple months. Now look, this could be the top. I fully understand that. And I fully understand that if I stay with my bullishness, that is going to sting a little bit. It's okay. We've already had a great year this year. So we'll see what happens. I don't think the heat map really makes any sense here. Some stuff went up, some stuff went down. Big reversal day is really the story. Because we are now below the 20-day moving average, and I didn't put it red, I put it as orange. As I said earlier, a lot of times you get a pierce. You get a pierce through and it recovers. We'll have to see what happens tomorrow. Tomorrow we have the March payroll report. If that payroll report comes out favorable, we could have a engulfing candle the other way. We could easily have an engulfing candle the other way, and by the end of the week, we had a flat week. We'll have to wait and see, but we got to downgrade it from a +3 to +2. If we have a negative day tomorrow, then I'm going to be downgrading this to a +1 over the weekend in the trading room, because we will be solidly below the 20-day moving average. Right now, I'm waiting to see if it's a pierce and a rebound, or if it's a go down and stay down. That's what I'm waiting for to rescore this. Since this is a big candle here, like I said, I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. No one knows what happened. And with the payroll report, it's even more cloudy and unsure. Once we get tomorrow's candle, I'm going to have a much better idea of whether I want to be at a +1 or at a +2 or a +3. So I do not have a lot of trades to share with you overnight. There's only one. There's only one I want to share. And I went out and I said, I want to find the stock that went up today. I want to find the stock that's in a really nice trend that went up today in spite. ARQT. I've never traded this before. Arcutis Biotherapeutics. Nice run higher. And we've got this really nice bull flag. Look at this bull flag with a breakout today on the nastiest day you could possibly get. Looks like they had a little bit of news, but with some decent volume. Yeah. Look, you don't have to take any trades here. We've always said at Maverick, the cash is a position. But to me, I'm really liking something like an 11-12 bull call spread. If you want to go a little bit less bullish, go with 10-11 bull call spread. You're going to pay about 65 cents. So it's going to be a theta play. But like I said, I went out and found what is the stock that bucked the trend and just went up in the face of this nasty, ugly day. This is the one. So if we get a bounce tomorrow, this thing is likely going to soar quite a bit. We'll see. We'll see what happens with tomorrow. I definitely don't want to get too far ahead because we close on our lows. We're likely to get some selling overnight in the futures. But when that payroll report comes out tomorrow morning before the bell, an hour before the bell, we're going to get the move. That's the only thing I really care about. Overnight, whatever's going to happen. But after that payroll number, I want to see what this market does with it. I left these market outlooks. The first two all-time highs, don't fight it. I've been saying that for the last 3 or 4 weeks. And it's been right, other than today. Pullbacks and bases should be bought. This is a pullback at this moment. We don't know how deep it's going to get. We're going to wait for that reversal candle, wait for the confirmation candle. That'll let us know that's likely the extent of the pullback. So we're still leaning to the bull side. The technicals tell us to, and we don't change our opinion until the technicals change. Then we change our opinion. We don't have our egos, our biases out there first, and then we look for technicals to try to support our viewpoint, which is what a lot of people do. They already have a bias, and then they go out and find an indicator that shows them exactly what they want, and they ignore the four that aren't saying it. People do that all the time in trading and all the time in their lives. But look, the technicals are saying this is likely a pullback. We don't know for sure, but likely a pullback. So I think at this point, I know I'm not really rushing to put on any new positions. I'm really waiting to see what happens with tomorrow's candle. I will have a much better idea for you over the weekend with the trading room. That's all I have for today, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. Goodbye, everybody.